week 3 of Think and Grow Rich application day. So Thursdays and Fridays, just like we said before, will be application days, right? And today is application day, right? This chapter is about faith, visualizing, and believing in the attainment of desire, right? And today's activity for visualizing and believing in the attainment of desire is going to be whiteboard day. It's going to be whiteboard day, or any type of board or notebook or notepad. I just wanted to give an actual visual aid today. We haven't done this yet, right? I said I wanted to do this yesterday, so we're doing it today. I said I wanted to do this yesterday, so we're doing it today. So this is one I had already done previously. I have another one as well that I did previously. It's this one. Where I asked myself questions, I gave myself answers, right? And this, right, this activity is just to get the smiles going, you know? Yeah, this activity is to get the smiles going, right? What's up, Anthony? So today, if you're new here, Anthony, we're doing week 3 of Think and Grow Rich, and today is Thursday, so this is application day. This chapter is about faith, visualizing, and believing in the attainment of riches, right? And this is application day, right? So this will be demonstration of what we went over in chapter 3, right? So let's go over a couple of things that we already talked about, and why this is a really good exercise to do. Hey, well, welcome to right? Why this is a really good thing to do, and and why to be honest when you're doing it, right? What's up? How you doing? I can't read that, but hey, what's up? Welcome to the chat. And why this is a good exercise to do, right? As right before, what I said was this activity, when you're being honest with yourself, brings the smiles to the situation, right? That's what it is. That's really what it's about. So let's go over the 3 important things from this chapter, right? So faith, love, and sex are the most powerful of all the major positive emotions, right? And we talked about yesterday that love of those big 3, love is the most important, right? Love is the most important because without love in those situations of faith or in sex, right, then physically sex is meaningless without the love aspect of it, right? And it's hard to have faith without love, right? So this is a loving yourself activity. So you tell yourself about the things that inspire you. You give yourself some inspiration, right? That gets the desire going, and then it brings in the imagination, right? Which brings like that childlike feeling of like I can do this, right? It gives you that ability to believe that you can actually attain these goals, and it also helps you with motivating yourself in the future if you need something to go back and look at. That's why I like the whiteboard. You put it up on the wall, and when I turn around in my desk and look at my wall, right, I can see this, right, and then I can read this to myself, right? It's not about writing it one time and throwing it down in the corner. It's really about whenever you need it, being able to read it. You feel me? Bars. Dang, I'm an artist. I really am an artist. This is one that I did before though, right? So this would be one that I did before, and this one I did on wealth and success, right? And so I'm gonna use this one today. So this one's Was treat others how I want to be treated. Was the main piece of this, right? And I got some other markers today to underline these things. Um, was treat others how I want to be treated. So this is the biggest piece here. Um, not to bring the Bible into this at all or anything, right? But um, the main commandment and the biggest thing from the Bible is to love your neighbor, right? That's the biggest thing. What's up, Raph? How you doing? The biggest thing is to love your neighbor. So the biggest part of my wealth and success here was to treat others how I want to be treated, right? So um, when I meet somebody, to open the door for them. When I meet somebody, saying, "Hey, what's up? How you doing?" Saying, "Have a good day," um, or when somebody's talking to me, to just to be honest and have a good conversation with them, right? Um, if somebody needs me, then I'll help, right? Even if you don't need me and you just need somebody to listen, then I'll listen, right? So treating others how I want to be treated was the biggest part of my wealth and success. That was a main point for me, right? Um, and then following that up was truth is truth. So regardless of anything, you know what the truth is, right? And even when you have other things outside of you telling you other stuff, internally you always know what the truth is, right? So that's why this is my very next one, right? This is my very next one because you always know what the truth is, right? No matter what anybody says about that, you always just know what the truth is, right? So truth is truth, right? Um, and this one was to stop. This was to stop myself from chasing money, to make sure money wasn't the end goal of my dreams, right? Because money is automatic, so why would it be the end goal, right? If money is automatic, then why would money be the end goal, right? So this puts it in my head to not to do things specifically for money, right? Um, and following that up, believe in my beliefs. I feel like this is a big one, right? Believe in my beliefs. If I have a belief, then I might as well believe in it, right? If I believe I can fly, I might as well believe I can fly. You feel me? Uh, I might as well believe I can fly, um, right? If I believe I can fly, I might as well believe I can fly. No matter what nobody else says about that, I might as well believe I can fly, right? This is this statement is to remain steadfast, is to remind myself to be steadfast in my beliefs. If I believe something and if I trust myself in that belief, then I might as well keep believing it, right? So believe in my beliefs, right? And that statement is just to remind myself that no matter what else is happening, um, to stay strong in what I believe, right? You know, that's another way of standing up for yourself in situations, right? When noise comes in and it may make you, and then something that makes you feel like maybe I can't do it. Nah, I can. I can do it. You feel me? Believe in my beliefs. You feel me? So, and the next one, this is a great affirmation if you want an affirmation for yourself, but my expectations are always exceeded, right? Um, because when my belief is when God blesses you, He always exceeds what you expected to receive, right? So um, my expectations are always exceeded was another big one, right? Because my belief is right. This goes back to believing my beliefs. My belief is my that when God blesses you, He blesses you with more than what you ask for. You feel me? Um, so and to remind myself to be patient. This is a patience affirmation right here. Patience. Right there. Patience. Patience. It won't be late. It won't be late. You feel me? It won't be late. So patience. This right here was for patience. I needed to be a patient right at that time. Um, right. Um, and then this next one is you've got to have a dream. If you don't have a dream, then you just are walking in a circle, right? If you don't have a dream, then you're just gonna be walking in a circle. Every day is gonna feel like another day. Then the days fly by. Then the days fly by. And then one day you're like, dang, it's been 10 years and nothing's happened, right? So you've got to have a dream. We're not just doing it with no purpose, right? It's to remind you right here. This one is a big one, that you got to have a dream. So what is your dream? What is your dream? What's your dream, right? So you've got to have a dream. This isn't that easy to read, I'm not gonna lie. We can improve on this in the future. But the next one was, you've got to have a dream, right? You've got to have a dream. If you have no dream, you'll be walking around in circles, man. And this is like a sports that one. It's like a sports that one right here, right? Never give in, never give up. You feel me? Never give in, never give up. I mean, it's just that simple, bro. Um, you never lose until you give up, right? You never lose until you give up, right? So if you don't want no, if you don't believe in losing, and you consider yourself uh, victorious in any situation, then never accept defeat. Never accept defeat, right? You're not defeated until you give up, right? So one thing I right here, you're not defeated until you give up. You're not defeated until you give up. You're not defeated until you give up. Um, I like this one. I forgot I made this one. I made this one such a long time ago. But this one goes here. You're not defeated until you give up, man. So I do implore you to remember those words, bro. You're not defeated until you give up. When you give up, then you're defeated. But until that very moment, when you accept defeat, then you're not defeated until you give up, man. So, and then boom, right? This is a firewall move. We talked about firewalls yesterday, right? And how to create a firewall that only permits success into your life, right? How to create a firewall that only permits success into your life. Firewall commands. Firewall command. You feel me? This is a firewall command. Every decision I make is followed with success. What do I mean by a firewall command? We all have a conscience, right? A conscious us, right? The dude is always yapping. The one that's always yapping, right? But it's to remember that every decision I make is followed with success. That's a firewall command, right? When you make a decision, then it's followed with success. No matter what other noise you have going on inside your head, or going on around you, or going on in any situation, every decision I make is followed with success. You feel me? Um, so when you choose, there you go, right? So it's that reminds you that when you decide to make that choice, then you're good. So, and now the next one. Then this one got a little messed up here, so I'm gonna rewrite it a little bit. And this is a big one, right? This is a big one sometimes, especially if you get down to yourself. But this is a big one sometimes, right? God has my back, regardless of what I believe, right? Sometimes you believe that you're not good enough for something, right? Or um, a plethora of other things, right? But this is a great reminder. So we're gonna write reminder at the bottom of this one. Reminder. Right, reminder at the bottom of this one, man. So God has my back regardless of what I believe. you know, Regardless of what it may look like at the time, right? Um, God has my back. So that's the next one, right? That's the next one on the board. Regardless of what I believe, God definitely does have my back. Um, and even if it doesn't look like it, and even if it looks a door that I may have wanted to open didn't open, then there was another door that was open for me, right? That I don't know about yet. So, without getting upset about not getting what you thought you needed, and that door closing, right? God does have your back. There's another door that's opening for you that was actually meant for you. You feel me? So that's a great reminder right there. Reminder. I'm gonna elaborate on these word choices that I use. I'm very specific with words. Um, so I'm gonna elaborate on the word choices I use later. Um, the next one, right, is what is your dream? Um, and so we talked about in order to receive something, you got to be. In order to receive something, what are you giving, right? That's what we talked about. In order to receive something, what are you giving, right? And what is your dream, right? Usually, it's usually a gift. Your dream is usually a gift uh, to yourself or to others, right? And to give my family a life they'll remember and appreciate. That's my dream. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be somebody else's dream, but that's my dream. In order to receive, you must be ready to give, right? Um, and so this is my gift, right? This is my gift. So gift, what I'm willing to give. And we'll talk about why that's important later, right? We'll talk about why that part right there is important, right? So, and now the next question I asked myself was, what are my requirements, right? To stay focused. That's a big piece right there. To stay focused and dedicated. Stay focused and dedicated to this dream, right? So this is my dream. So this is what I must stay focused to, right? Right here. This is my dream. So this is what I must stay focused and dedicated to. Um, and there anything that I need to do? Well, only thing I need to do is keep my dream alive. As long as my dream is alive, then I have a chance. As long as my dream is alive, then I have a chance, right? As long as my dream is alive, then I have a chance. And all I need is a chance. We just watched Little Giants. Me and my wife just finished watching Little Giants. Um, as long as my dream is alive, then I have a chance. Then I have a chance. Right? And what did they say? What did the coach say in Little Giants? Right? He said, "Well, his brother beat him 99 times, but he won the one time." Right? And all you need is that one victory. That's all you need. You don't gotta beat somebody a million times. You don't gotta beat them 1,000 times. You don't gotta beat them in a series or nothing. We're not in the finals or no other stuff like that. I know I talk about this stuff every once in a while, but you only need to do it one time. You only need to experience success one time to really keep your dream alive, right? So all you need is a chance. All you need is one chance. That's it. Just one chance. So keep your dream alive because all you need is that one chance. You feel me? And the last piece right here was be a dutiful keeper of my garden, right? So this means treat myself well. So water my own plant. Continue to water my plant. I'm the plant, and I gotta continue to water the plant every day, right? This keeps my dream alive. Be a dutiful keeper of my garden, because this is what I have to do to keep my dream alive. You feel me? So, it doesn't really matter what my dream is. Y'all don't have to know what my dream is. You feel me? But, or what entails when I say this is my dream or what that means or anything, I know what that means. So, but this board right here is to build that dream into yourself, right? This I built this board to build my dream into myself, so I would never forget what my actual dream is. It's not money, because money is automatic, right? Money comes in and money leaves. I get money and I spend money all the time. You feel me? So money comes in and money leaves. It doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal, to be honest. So money is automatic. So that's not my dream. Money ain't my dream. Money will come because it's a part of the dream, but it's not my dream. You feel me? So it'll come. It's not a big deal. It's like money is like a girl that you want. Money's like a girl that you want. When you chase that girl, she's usually gonna run away. You feel me? So we're not doing this to chase money. Because if you chase a girl, then she usually gonna run away. Money is like a girl. You feel me? So I'm not worried about the money, to be honest. I'm not worried about that part because it'll just come. It'd be like, dang, that guy's cool. I want to go in his pockets. You feel me? And that's how it works. You feel me? What's up with you, broski? Right? So money is automatic. So we're not chasing money because money's like that pretty girl that you want to talk to, right? But if you chase after her, then she just gonna leave. You feel me? She gonna run away. So instead of chasing after the pretty girl, build yourself up first and the money will come. That's how that works. Build yourself up first and the money will come. Don't chase money because you have no goal at that point. It'll just be money. You feel me? And then money will just leave. You feel me? It's like a girl. It's like that. It's just how it is. That's really just how it is, you know? And if you ever got girls in your life, then you know that. Good thing I'm big pimping. Or I was. Not anymore. I'm married now. But you know, I'm big pimping. So I got you. So I got you. I know the game already. I was out there. I was the #1 draft pick on everybody's roster. You feel me? The #1 draft pick on everybody's roster. You feel me? And you could ask any of my homies. Ain't no cap in my rap. You feel me? So ain't no cap in my rap. You feel me? So well, we don't chase money. Money is the pretty girl. You don't chase the pretty girl. You never chase the pretty girl. You let the pretty girl come to you. You know, or the handsome guy that you might want to talk to. You never chase though. You never chase that. You build yourself up first, and it'll come to you. You feel me? So money's automatic. So we got that already. That's already in your pocket. You might as well just guarantee that the money is gonna be there regardless, right? It'll be there. If you do what you got to do, then the money will be there. You feel me? So might as well just check it off the list. That'll be there regardless. It'll come there regardless. If you do something amazing, then somebody gonna pay you for it. So if you're doing something amazing, then somebody gonna want to pay you for it. You feel me? So work on doing something amazing. Feel me? That's gonna be how you get the money. Work on doing something amazing. Don't work on getting money. Work on doing something amazing. Then somebody gonna want to pay you for it. You feel me? Now, treat others how I want to be treated. That's the biggest one on this whole board. I ain't gonna lie. Treat others how I want to be treated is the biggest one on this whole board. Because if you a douchebag, then one day, you know, all that stuff that you worked for is gonna leave because you a douche. It's gonna leave because you a douche. If you a douchebag, then one day all that stuff you work so hard for gonna leave because one day people gonna stop wanting to be around you. One day people gonna stop wanting to work for you. One day people gonna want to stop being in business with you because they don't like you. They tired of being around you. So if you a douchebag, it's gonna leave eventually, right? That's another reason why that love your neighbor is such a big thing. Because if you don't, then eventually everything's gonna leave because nothing want to be around you. That's why that's such an important verse in the Bible. Because eventually, if you treat everybody bad long enough, they're not gonna want to stay around you. No matter how much money you got, no matter how big you got, no matter any of that stuff. You feel me? They're gonna be wanting you to have your downfall eventually. And enough people praying on your downfall, and if they in the right to do so because you're a douchebag, you feel me? Then it'll probably happen. You feel me? So that's why this is the number one. Number one. Oops. I'm gonna put A. Because number one, you feel me? I'm just gonna put A. You feel me? Treat others how you want to be treated, bro. It's just that simple. If you want people to be around you, if you want to have a life full of joy, then treat people good. That's it, right? You know, truth is true, bro. Truth is truth. You know what the truth is, bro. It's not too much lying to yourself that's gonna work, you know. And then believe in my beliefs. If you're gonna have those beliefs, you might as well believe in them. If you're gonna have a belief, you might as well believe in it with everything in your body. You might as well believe that you're amazing with every fiber of your being. You might as well believe that you are the dopest person in the world with everything you got. You might as well believe that you are the coolest person in the room with everything you got in you. You might as well believe that you're the dopest, most smartest, most athletic, most anything with everything you got. Even if somebody show up and they just as athletic as you are. It's not a reason to doubt yourself. It's a reason. It's another reason to believe even further that I'm just that nice. Even this super nice other person in this world is also super nice and stuff. You know, uh, they're not nicer than me. You feel me? You know, it's funny, but so it's just I work around with you got when you believe in something, you gotta believe it with everything in you. Not even you got to, but just believe it. Just choose to believe it with everything in your body. Just choose to believe it with everything in your body, right? Because a person with the strongest belief out of everybody in the group will be the victorious one. If there was a competition, the person who believes in themselves the most, when the opportunity comes up to take that thing and win, that'll be the person that wins. You feel me? So believe in your beliefs with every fiber of your being. With every fiber of your being. You know? Next one was my expectations are always exceeded. Through my experiences, through my personal experiences in my life. When God has blessed me, he blessed me with more than what I asked for. It was even if it was $40 more than what I asked for, it was more than what I asked for. Right? It was more than what I asked for. In every situation was always more than what I asked for. When I got the job I work at now, I set a salary amount in my mind, and he upped my salary amount that I had in my mind. I got my starting pay was higher than what I thought I was gonna get starting pay. You feel me? So my expectations are always exceeded. Just remember that when you have a goal and you stick to your goal, your expectations are likely to be exceeded. What you expect to happen is likely to be exceeded. You feel me? And if you don't believe that, then that ain't my problem. Because from my own personal experiences, that's the truth. Right? And my truth is my truth. You feel me? Bam. 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 So, and also next one was it won't be late, right? So that's patience. Uh, Getting upset ain't gonna make it come faster. Throwing a temper tantrum ain't gonna make it happen quicker. Uh, but Amber alert. Whatever child it is, hope they get back to where they need to be at. Um, but it won't be late. It'll be right on time. It'll be exactly when you're ready for it. You feel me? It'll happen exactly when you're ready for it to happen. Not a second earlier and not a second later. It'll happen exactly when you're ready to receive it. And if you think about anything you ever got in your life, then you know that's the truth. It won't be late. It'll happen exactly when you're ready for it. And that's always how it happens. It'll happen exactly when you decided to stop making excuses, stop choosing other things over it. When you decided that I'm gonna have it, then that's when you'll have it. It won't be late. It won't be late. You feel me? Right after that one was you've got to have a dream, bro. And that's true, but you got to have a dream. You gotta have something that you're going towards, or else you're just walking around. If you don't have nothing you're going towards, you're just walking around. You're just here, right? So it don't gotta be the grandest thing in the world. It don't gotta be the biggest thing in the world. It can be anything, bro. You want to be the greatest shoe shiner on the planet, and if that's your dream, then that's the dream you got to have. You feel me? Um, and then never give in, never give up. You never defeat it until you give up. You never lose until you give up. The game never over until you decide to hang up the sticks. Right? The game's never over till you decide to hang the sticks up. You know? So never give in, never give up. Right? And then boom. Every decision I make is followed with success. Now this is a firewall command. This is what I call this. I call it a firewall command. Right? It's one of the you know how a firewall is a filter for the most part, right? Um, and This filters out the different parts of yourself. So the parts of yourself that might not believe this command right here will filter those things out, right? And it'll push more of the things that are allowed through the firewall. Like every decision I make is follow successful. Every decision that you have chosen, that you choose, is permitted through the firewall. You feel me? Um, so I do IT, and that just makes sense to me. That just makes sense to me, bro. Now, God has my back, regardless of what I believe. Regardless of what I believe, God got my back. Regardless of what situation I've been in before, regardless of what, and I've been in some situations in my life. You feel me? So, um, and and I where I had to have faith, I have no choice but to have faith. And in all those situations, I'm here right now. I'm here right now. See, and that's what matters, me. I'm here right now. I'm here right now. So that means this statement has been absolutely true in my life. I ain't gone yet, bro. And even if I did leave, that means I was meant to leave. You feel me? But God has had my back in every situation, regardless of what I believe. Regardless of what I believe. Now, what is your dream? This is where we get into working this part out. So if you got to have a dream, what is your dream? If you got to have a dream, what is your dream? Right? To give my family life they'll remember and appreciate. Right? Because in order to receive, you have to be willing to give. In order to receive, you have to be willing to give. You feel me? So, um, and this is my gift. And then what are my requirements, right? So what are the requirements I made for myself, right? To stay focused and dedicated to this dream. It's not the craziest dream in the world, but just to stay focused, to remember that this is my dream, to remember that all this other stuff that comes up in life, those are not my dreams, right? Those are passing by side quests that I accomplish, you know. um, but my true dream is this one. And it allows you to, when you know what your true dream is, it allows you to start to imagine that true dream. It allows you to start to put that together, right? And when you have put that dream together, right, then things just start to happen to make the dream happen, right? Um, and is there anything I need to do, right? All I gotta do is just to keep my dream alive. As long as my dream is alive, then I have a chance. All you need is one opportunity. All you need is one opportunity. That's all you need is one opportunity. That's it. All you need is to catch one break and follow through with it. All you need is one chance to do something, and then that's it. But in order for you to succeed in that one chance, right, you got to be getting ready for that one chance. You know, you got to be preparing yourself for that one chance. You know, you might not know what you need to do in that opportunity if you're not doing the work that you know you're supposed to be doing. So, um, make sure you're putting in the work in the background for you, for nobody but yourself, right? That's a gift to you. That's your gift to yourself. You putting in that work in the background to achieve that goal, right, is your gift to yourself. Give yourself something too, right? Everything ain't always for somebody else, right? Sometimes our gift is to ourselves, right? So make sure you're putting in the background work to achieve whatever that dream is. Maybe it's the days where things don't look as pretty. Maybe it's the days where um, uh, where you might not have wanted to do it anyways, but you still want to go do it, right? Make sure you put in that extra work to achieve it. So when your opportunity shows up, when that chance, because you only need that one chance, when that opportunity shows up, you're ready for it, right? So, and that means to be a dutiful keeper of your garden, to keep watering your plants, to keep watering yourself. You are the plant. You got to water yourself every day, right? That's how you keep your dream alive. So, just to take care of yourself, right? Take care of yourself. It's the biggest piece. So take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. You know, it makes sense. I'm telling you, it does. I'm telling you, this does make sense, bro. And if it don't make sense to you, it definitely makes sense to me. But take care of yourself. And yeah. I wish I could put this on a bigger screen. Not gonna lie. Maybe maybe I will do it on a computer next time. Right? Because I can write all this out on the computer. Oh, I got good ideas coming. Facts. But all right, Chad, that's gonna be the end of this stream. This is about 38 minutes of goodness, bro. So I appreciate everybody that stopped by. Um, and I'm gonna see y'all next time. We got a limitless core, baby. I appreciate you. I might even love you, but I'm for sure glad you woke up today. I'm gonna see you next time. Peace.